I always wanted a treehouse. When I was a kid, I would not stop going on at my mum to make me a treehouse. I needed one, okay? I felt like I had to have one in my life. And then one day, my mum turned around and said to me that unfortunately, you need a tree to make a treehouse. And we didn't have a tree in our garden, so my dreams were totally crushed. And I'll be honest, it still hurts a little bit. But thankfully, Minecraft is a game of infinite possibility, and in this universe, I can actually have the treehouse that I rightly deserve. In front of me, we have got a rather lovely looking tree, and throughout today's video, I'm going to convert this into the treehouse of my dreams. Okay, so first things first, we actually need to get up into this thing, and I reckon just using slabs, kind of cycling around like this, actually gives quite a cool look to the build, like those cycling up through there, and I think I'm going to build this in layers. For anyone who's seen the start of Hermitcraft Season 6, you'll recognise this sort of idea where we have these little layers or platforms throughout the tree that have different things on them, and I gotta say, I am liking the look of these lanterns dangling down from the fences. It looks super cool. So if we pop up here, you can see that this is the first little platform. It's tiny, this is the smallest one, but maybe this could have, I don't know, maybe my bed, like a little crafting bench up here, just a few bits and pieces, the sorts of things that we need in a base. And I'm also trying to channel my inner good times with Scar by doing a little bit of tree forming. I guess that's what I'm going to be calling it. Just trying to make it look a tiny bit better. Ish. I don't know if I'm making it better or I don't know what I'm doing right now. A whole lot of nothing good at the minute, I think. One thing that I wasn't really planning on doing, but I think has made a massive positive difference, is adding in all of the logs down at the bottom here. It just makes the trunk look a little bit more substantial and makes it look like it could actually hold up all of the things that we're building up here, because previously, with just the one log going down into the floor, I mean, it didn't look structurally sound, did it? It looked like a fly's fart could have knocked it over and destroyed it, so I'd say this is an upgrade. Anyway, we are now up here doing our middle layer, and I would say this is a pretty good layer for a storage system. It's quite big, we've got a lot of space to play with, so we might as well start chucking some chests around. And after a decent amount of chest chucking, this is it. Here is our storage system looking rather lovely, if I do say so myself. We've got a few storage barrels, we've got spaces to put our diamonds, we've got miscellaneous chests around the outside, and then this is the main storage system. It all looks rather lovely. I mean, this was an easy video, wasn't it? It would have been. Yeah, it would have been, if my brain wasn't so obsessed with redstone. You see, this is all well and good, very nice and pretty, I like it, I'm actually a big fan of the design style. But I definitely think there's more that we can add to this. And the best way to go is, of course, down. Now, I don't want people to know that there is a downstairs to this treehouse. I want them to think that everything is up above, but then we can activate a staircase that drops down like this. And it takes us down into the secret base underneath the treehouse. Another childhood dream completed, a bunker under my treehouse. 6-year-old me is going mental. And I gotta say, although I didn't plan to place the logs around like this, they're going to come in massively handy because they allow us to conceal certain elements of redstone, so it should hopefully make the machine a little bit less complicated. First redstone circuit is now in place. That's probably the easiest one that we're going to get. I was totally wrong, because the one next to it is even simpler. We don't even need the block swapper, it's literally just pushing a block. So that is the grass blocks in place, and then here are the beginnings of our staircase. Okay, I think this one is going to be tough. This is getting a little bit embarrassing now. Again, it really wasn't difficult. If we flick this lever here, you can see that the block that was there, so originally there was a log block there, it actually just gets pushed across by that sticky piston and forms part of the tree trunk. And then when we flick the lever again, you can see it gets retracted, everything is covered up, and this looks totally natural. You would not think anything weird was going on, but if we flick the lever, everything kicks into action, and we can go down into our staircase, and that is it. That is all the redstone that we needed to make this work. I thought it was going to be so much more complicated than that, but we've managed to create a spiral staircase entrance hidden away underneath a tree with about 3 pieces of redstone dust and a repeater. I'll be honest, there is not a whole lot that I can do to make this pretty. I really don't know what to do. Other than maybe just cover it up. I mean, if we place it... It's so difficult. A lot of head scratching later. This is what we've got. Obviously, it's nothing too crazy at the minute, but I think it could begin to look quite cool once we start getting things in place. Anyway, the first thing that I want to get in place is a cooler storage system. Obviously, we've got the storage system up in the treehouse, but it's a little bit pants. We want something a tiny bit more 21st century. The idea is you have multiple sets of shulker boxes. So you hit a button, a fresh set of shulker boxes is dispensed. You hit the button again, you get another set of shulker boxes, then you hit the button again, and you get another set of shulker boxes. So there should be 3 within the storage system's magazine, if that makes any sense. I'm from England, I don't really know gun terminology or anything. Regardless, let's give this thing a quick tester. So if I hit this button here, nice, okay, yellow, green, so the next one should be green, and then the next one should be yellow. That isn't a cause for concern. Is it a cause for concern? Should I be concerned? I feel like I should be concerned. I'm just not going to be concerned. Simple as that. I'm just going to patch this up. We're going to pretend that never happened, which I'm sure is totally not going to bite me in the backside. No, not at all. And full system test. Nice. This looks really cool. Maybe a slight redesign is needed then. There we go. Sure, it's a shame that we can't have one long line of these things, but I gotta admit, I actually think this looks a little bit cooler. And most importantly, it actually works. You know, that's an important detail. Next to it, I'm going to have little dropper systems that allow us to gather up items I often need. I'm thinking we have one for firework rockets, because obviously Elytra, firework rockets, you're always in need of those. And the other one is going to be for food, and they're going to dispense out in stacks of 16 or 32. 32. I think 32 is the better option. I mean, how annoying would it be if I only got 16 bits of food? I'd be back there every 5 seconds. At least half a stack is half decent. And I've got to say, if this works, this is ridiculously simple. Oh, it doesn't work, does it? Let's try that again then. Of course, I had the wrong type of button there. If we hit the button now... Oh, look at that! All we've got is literally sticky pistons with observers on the front of them. Look, underneath here, these are just sticky pistons. And they push the observers across. We've got observers down there, and then we've got 4 droppers. That is it. That is it. Seriously, seriously cool. So the second one has been constructed for firework rockets as well. We are all sorted. I need some of these on the Hermitcraft server. I know I say that all the time, but I do need these. Next, I want to work on a little system which will allow us to actually shift crafting benches around, because obviously now that we're playing in Minecraft 1.14, we've got all these crazy types of crafting benches and things that we actually do need. So it's good to have like the little swap around, you know? I mean, you really don't need this, but it looks cool and it's fun to play around with redstone like this. And I've got to say, I must be having a big brain day today, because I keep coming up with smart solutions to things, and this is a pretty smart solution. So when we hit the button, you can see that, well, everything works. Everything is swapping around. Everything's looking good, apart from the fact that we've got a few ugly blocks dotted around, but that's no big deal. The way that it functions is really smart. I'm using these droppers right here, which are removable objects, to stop pushes from happening when I don't want them to happen. So all that happens when we hit this button is we get a pulse through these sticky pistons, then we get a pulse through the back pistons, and then we get a pulse through these sticky pistons again. But if there's blocks in the way, then obviously these sticky pistons can't extend. So currently, these blocks here are actually blocking these sticky pistons from extending, so they don't. But then the sticky pistons at the back then extend, retracting those out of the way, and then these ones fire. And then look, it's kind of like the opposite way round on the opposite side. It's smart stuff. Slightly proud of myself, not gonna lie. I mean, I just like finding little solutions to things. It's the simplest stuff that's the most fun. This wall isn't really that exciting. We just have all the different types of furnaces and things, but I thought it was worth doing. This wall, however, is going to be quite interesting, because this is going to be an entrance into another part of the base, and I have an idea for a design that I want to use for the door. I'm wondering A, how cool it will look, and B, if it will actually function. And now that I'm in the process of constructing it, I've realized that the answer to both of those things is definitely yes. It is going to look cool, and it's going to function easily. I mean, I've done about 90% of the redstone just then. All this thing consists of is a double piston extender down underneath, and then single piston extenders, or I guess just pistons up at the top. If we hit the button, boom, we have got ourselves a closed door, and if we hit the button again, everything opens up. And I would say this thing really suits the style of this build. It fits right in and looks pretty cool. Gravel's actually pretty these days. I apologise for this clip because I have a soother in my mouth because I've got a bit of a sore throat. But what's going to be behind this wall is not really that exciting. It's just going to be a bedroom. I feel like I shouldn't record any more clips like this. Throat fully soothed and soother fully removed is an unintentionally funny sentence. The bedroom's done. Looks a little bit 2012 Minecraft, I'll be the first to admit that, but it definitely does the job. And it looks nice. I wouldn't mind staying the night here. I'm really pleasantly surprised by this little base. It has quite a nice feel to it, actually. So let's do a quick tour then for all the people who are too lazy to watch the whole video. So here we have the treehouse itself looking rather wonderful. The staircase going up to the top is pretty sweet. We've got a little bedroom area, a few essentials, and then up here we've got a little storage system, which I have to say looks nice. I mean, oh my word, I've left a hole. If this was your base, I'd think it was a pretty cool base. I mean, it's very, very pretty. It's nice, I like it, but of course this base has some hidden features. If you just run over here, place in a redstone torch, you can see that a little staircase pops out of the ground and we can go through into this area down at the bottom here. Here we have got block swappers that allow us to use all the various different crafting benches in Minecraft 1.14. We have got dispensers for food and firework rockets that shoot out at half a stack at a time. We have got a cycling storage system, which allows us to have 3 different sets of shulker boxes inside one system. Pretty cool. And then through here we have got a little piston door that allows us to access or not to access our bedroom. Say we're getting changed or something, we don't want people looking in. I really, really like this place. I'm super happy with it. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya! Alright, so in my previous video, I felt like my outro was a little bit long. That time it was very abrupt. Okay, I'll be the first to mention it. You know, I was just chatting away, I was showing you guys around the build, and then it's like, and yeah, bye. God, I'm still trying to work this out. 7 years of doing YouTube and I'm still trying to work out how I finish a video. Oh, lemons. One.